Hello, welcome to Access Paranormal. My name's Jamie Williams. Joining us here at Mill Street Barracks is my co-host Jonathan Sullivan.
Hello.
And also my other co-host, Marie Spriggs. It is the new year. I make mistakes, but that's my excuse anyway. Also joining us for the start of 2023 by two ladies and a gentleman. I won't be calling him a gentleman in a minute when I give his name. This is little Aubrey.
Hi.
This is Gemma.
Hi.
And this is Michael. Or if I call him Mike, I do apologise because it's an insult. And these are from Junior Paranormal playing in Manchester. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
You're more than welcome, and you're coming here to Mill Street Barracks, which is going to be fantastic
We
for
are.
you. You've never been here before.
No.
Now I'm going to start with little Aubrey. I'm going to call you little Aubrey, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to start with you because you've never been here before neither. And I can't believe how old you are and you're doing paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into the paranormal.
So every time my mum and dad went on paranormal investigating events, and I always go home and I'm always asking them, when can I go on one, and please tell me what happened, and I'll never let them continue stopping. I'll just continue letting them say about stuff, and I just got so into it that it made me so interested in it that I've started doing it.
Oh, wow. And you've got to say, we had a walkabout with them before. Yes. Little Aubrey was like, let's do an investigation.
She loves them.
She's more braver than us. I know, she's braver than us.
Well, speak for yourself.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And little Aubrey, she's got a brother, Finley, who hasn't come tonight.
Sorry, Finley.
Oh, look, Finley. You were the one what didn't know one about the place. Little Aubrey's got the highlight, okay?
I'm famous now.
She's famous now anyway, but it's lovely to have you on. And we've got your mum and your dad with us, and I'm going to go to Gemma next. I'm even getting the names right.
You are getting the name right.
Started in the year, superb, I'm like. Can you tell us exactly how you started? And you can join in as well, Michael. And you can explain how you came, how the Junior Paranormal came about, because we think it's brilliant.
Thank you. So, as Aubrey said, Michael and I have been interested in the paranormal for quite a few years, and we used to go on events with various different companies. And when we used to come home, Finley and Aubrey would always ask us, what happened on it? Tell us all about it. And then the next question would always be, when can we go on one? And we would always say, well, you have to wait until you're 18. So in the summer of 2020, we decided to sort of take them around a few haunted places on day visits. So we went to Shrewsbury Prison, Ripon Workhouse, Eden Camp, hoping that would help address that question, but it didn't. It made them even more curious. So Halloween 2021, we went on an event, didn't we?
Yes.
And it was, we came back the next day, and again, oh, what happened? Tell us all about it. And again, they asked the question, can we go with you? And we went to say no, and then we sort of looked at each other and went, well, actually, why not?
We were like, why can't they? And then we were like, well, surely there's somebody who we can look for who does it. And we were looking for about a week, looking round, searching, everything else. And then it was the Sunday morning of, I think it was fireworks night.
It was fireworks night, yeah.
And we were sat there and Gemma said, well, why can't we do it? And it was just like this light bulb moment of, well, why not? It's something, we've got two kids that are really into it.
There must be others
There must be others.
Definitely.
And other people out there that are asking the same question we are. So why can't we do it? And we just decided that Sunday morning to
jump into it.
And I'm so glad you have.
Thank you.
It's brilliant.
So I'm a qualified teacher, and I've worked with children and young people for many years. And I also run an education business. So we thought, well, why can't we put my skills together with the paranormal and come up with a safe way where we can educate children and young people about how to safely explore the paranormal, but also linking that history which we think is so important. And it's something that not all paranormal groups touch on. Sometimes it's just to go into somewhere and it's like, this is haunted. Well, why is it haunted? What's the history behind that? And then we did our first event at Champness Hall, and it's just carried on from there.
We messaged a few places. We actually got some positive feedback pretty quickly, which made us then be more excited for us that there were people out there at different venues saying, wow, that sounds actually really good. And as you say, Champness Hall, which is our base, we met the owner of the building, and he's got a daughter as well who's into it, which helps.
Brilliant.
And loads
Bonded that.
and he was they've been so
They've been
supportive
amazing.
of what we're doing.
Well,
So.
When we first heard of it, and we'll be honest with you, it's opened our eyes because we were like,
What?
kids?
Uh-huh.
No chance.
Yeah.
Whose great idea was, and we got to admit that we were like that. What's going on here? You know, it's not for kids and everything else. And we were ignorant to it. We'll be honest with you, we were ignorant to it until we looked at it all and we spoke to you and we asked you about it and everything else. And that's when we said, didn't we? I can see this now. I can see the point of it, because there's nothing for kids like that.
No,
And if you think about it this way as well, there's a lot of paranormal stuff on TV and on YouTube.
Oh my
So they
goodness.
can
Children
look
like
into it.
Aubrey, children like Aubrey can watch it. There's no
so much access.
There's no 18 anymore now. Everyone can
No.
watch it. But can I just ask? Sorry, I know you haven't had a word yet, but you know what I'm like for talking anyway. How difficult was it for getting insurance for children for under 18s? Because obviously, our insurance is for 18 and over.
Yeah, no. The reason, not at all. It's actually quite straightforward because we focus more on the education as opposed to the paranormal.
Right.
It's standard
Perfect, yeah.
insurance.
Brilliant.
So that's the big difference. And education is the main reason.
It's music out there.
Is that how it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's car.
Yeah.
But with regards to what you said, Jamie, we still do get a lot of people saying, you can't possibly do that. Children under no, and it's like, well, they do. We understand that there's a lot of things that we don't do on events. So we don't do Ouija boards, we don't do seances, we don't do anything spiritual, we don't have mediums or anything like that. It's just cause and effect equipment. That's all.
So it's very scaled down.
Very scaled
So what
down.
to an adult.
Absolutely.
And I think that's perfect for children
It is.
because that gives them the gentle, it gives them what they want to see, and it gives them the safety of it as well.
Yeah.
And how, because you were telling me before that you do a protection, you have a protection room. I think that's what did you call it?
We have a safe
It's
base.
safe base.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like a break away
Yeah.
room. So if they get frightened, they can go there, nothing happens there. And obviously you've got your protection as well that you pour over them. Personally yourself, I think, Gemma.
Yeah,
is that
I
right?
do. Yeah, I do protections.
Yeah, sorry.
Go on, sorry.
No, that's fine.
I was going to say, because I'm sure many people ask, because we thought about it, didn't we? And we thought, someone's going to come and they're going to bring about 20 kids and they're going to do a paranormal investigation.
That's exactly what me and you said.
And that's what,
Yeah.
that's what everybody thought. And we thought, it's just going to be like
Chaos.
So they're just going to bring like 20 kids
Mm-hmm.
and just do paranormal, but it's not like that at all.
No.
And in a
Because they have
way,
to bring an adult with them.
Yes.
yeah,
they
and in
do.
a way, we both hold our hands up and we're guilty.
Yeah,
of it.
we are guilty
we
of
were
that.
we were narrow-minded. No, not you.
Thank
we
you.
were narrow-minded.
But it's not been done before, though.
No.
Has it?
No.
No,
Do you know what I
and
mean?
it's like the old saying, isn't it? You go, they shouldn't be doing that. They're
Yeah.
kids.
Well,
Yeah.
But it's a different era now, and
Absolutely.
we were narrow-minded, and this is a good lesson for anybody out there to do your homework before you make any comments like we did. We hold our hands up, we were making comments, this shouldn't be allowed, they shouldn't be this. And we've spoken to Gemma, we've spoken to Mike, and, and little Aubrey here, but Finley couldn't make it. And after seeing this tonight, it's opened our eyes completely, and it's taught me an absolute lesson is don't judge the book by its cover.
Yes.
Yeah,
Listen to the
thank you.
people who were doing it, and Michael and Gemma have done a fantastic
As soon
job.
as I spoke to Gemma though, it was like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Because we ended up on the phone for nearly an hour,
We
didn't
did.
we?
Yeah.
Having a good
Yeah,
chat
see,
about
yeah.
it.
A strange validation that we had is we got Rochdale Council approached us about checking that we had everything in place to be able to do it,
Yeah.
and we were able to provide them all the risk assessments, safety insurances and everything
Yes.
else, to a point of view where they're satisfied with what we were doing. So that was an
That's
extra
perfect.
validation
Yeah.
to us
Yes.
that we're on a legal standpoint, and that bit that everybody's worried about with under 18s doing something, it did kind of give us a bit of, well, yeah, there you go. It's
It's like the unknown though, isn't it? Because no one's really done it before.
Unfortunately, we did also, around the same time when we started launching, we were made aware that there are some other paranormal groups out there who saw our idea and decided that they were going to allow under 18s to come on over 18s events and put the two together.
It's a totally different.
I'm not
And
happy with
it's
that.
not good. So we then had to sort of consistently fight our corner of that's not us. We don't believe you should put under 18s on over 18s events. We just specialise just in children and young people. And the other thing as well is because there's quite a few people who do paranormal events as a business and as money making, and that's absolutely fine. But we wanted to also stand out from the crowd by being non-profit. So any money that we do make, if at all we make any money, goes straight back into providing kit or providing t-shirts or anything like that. So that is another way how we wanted to stand out. But no, the things that you've raised, we still get that now.
It's going to continue. Now, Aubrey,
Absolutely.
you're 9,
Yeah.
am I right? Yeah. How do you feel that you were being picked on, not you individually, you as a child weren't allowed to go on paranormal investigations? And I know that you're a brave little one because we've been around the building with you and you are. How do you feel that you can go on these investigations? I know it's a little bit of watered down than what adults do, and we understand that.
Yeah.
But how is it for you, and how do you feel that you can go on these now, knowing that you can experience things that we experience all the time?
So at the start, when on my first ever one, I felt unsure about it, but when I got more into it and like through last year in 2022, I got very into it and I started feeling bringing back my confidence up, and I just felt really good about it, and I felt like it's a really good idea and it's a really positive way for knowing kids can learn about the history also while paranormal investigating with it. So that's why I'm thinking it's a really positive and good idea for kids to also have a chance, because you can't leave kids out on stuff for over 18s to only just go and enjoy theirs. But like little kids who are really interested in it don't even have a chance to go and do it. So I think it's a really good idea.
You're the youngest, aren't you? No.
Are you the youngest?
Yeah.
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 I've got to say, a confidence is fantastic because she tells me off. Because my belly rumbled.
I do.
She said, my belly rumbled when we were in the dark, and she told me off.
so
I can't
What
help
did
it.
you say?
She told me off.
Saying what? Because it
My belly rumbled, and she went, will you stop your belly rumbling?
because it interfered.
Yeah, it interfered with the,
She wanted it.
it
Yeah.
interfered with the calling out.
So we've always teach the kids to say please and thank you. We find it only
Yes.
polite. You treat whoever you're trying to contact and who is there, you treat them with the same respect that you get. And as you say, I will always be corrected if I don't say please and thank you, or if anybody does, you'll have Aubrey, Finley, any of the kids will pipe up and be like, "You've not said please. You've not said thank you."
Perfect.
That's brilliant.
And the confidence that they come out with, as you say, kids going on an event. At first we thought it would be the kids being scared, but a lot of the adults that we found haven't been on paranormal investigations themselves. They're just in it because they're kids and they're trying to get their children to explore it.
But that's good, Michael, because what's happening, sorry Marie, what's happening now is your children, or not just you, 'cause you've got ambassadors and God knows what else, haven't you?
Yeah.
They're bringing the adults into it, and now the adults are starting to get into it. So the children are beginning to bring us, you know, adults into the paranormal world as well. So it's working both ways.
Yeah, we did have one whose his mum and dad came, and the two kids were obsessed. They watched all the stuff on YouTube. They watched the kids who go off into the different derelict buildings, and we were saying, well, we don't advocate it.
Yeah.
But the dad was like, no, don't believe it. I believe in something else, but don't believe. And I think there was a point in the night where he was adamant, wasn't he, the one jumping up trying to see what was going on?
He was running up in the dark.
He was the one who was like, who'd come as being the mum here for my kids sort of thing, to being the one who was like
chasing down noises.
So it's been good to see that side of it, where obviously we're not thrusting everybody into this idea that everything's horrible or
we have to we constantly fighting the demon thing. So people come on, is there going to be a demonic portal? Are there going to be you know, because of what they've seen on the television?
It's fed into them.
It's fed into them that the paranormal is negative and
I
things
keep
are
watching
negative.
a spider, sorry. There's a spider coming closer, I'm getting ready to grab it.
Yeah, just grab it.
So
It's distracting me.
So we see another one of our jobs is to sort of tackle these negative ideas that they have about everything being a demon.
Great educating.
And that's good.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, there are a lot of strong-minded children, like you was mentioned before, Michael. Yes. I wondered what you was doing, I couldn't see your hand. And some are, and it's not for some children.
No, it's not.
And, you know, it's the people who's got the interest in it and the people whose parents are going to come with the child as well, isn't it?
And we've seen the enthusiasm, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh, she was the first calling out upstairs when we were upstairs before.
I know.
Yeah, she was.
Swings
into it.
So it just shows you that
Teddy bears going on.
children do.
Teddy bears.
We've just had, we've got a teddy bear out there, it's just going off.
Go on, you take over the show, carry on. Mr. Aubrey of Access Paranormal Podcast. Go on, explain what we've got out there then, Aubrey.
So we've got a mini box out there, and we've got a teddy bear called Spirit, who mostly with the night and with other investigations that we've done has mostly been being set off from answering questions and stuff. And ever since we got that, the spirits and the ghosts just loved it, that they've started using it a lot.
There's a cat ball up there as well.
Yeah. Well, you can't see that from where you are, but there is a cat
Dad
ball
put it out
set up there as well. I see Michael pouring it up there. That's
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Aubrey a question then.
Okay.
While it's in my head. What do all your friends think about you going out and doing all these paranormal investigations?
Sometimes my friends think, why do you want to do it? And I just said I'm really interested in it. And when I tell them, they're like, are you sure there's no bad energy? And I'm always saying to them, there's always good energy there.
So,
and sometimes there's shy spirits. And
so explain to them what you told your teacher.
Okay.
So
So my teacher was asking, what do you want to be when you're older? And I put my hand up and I said, a paranormal investigator. and he said, that's not a job, it's a hobby. So I came home and I said to Mum, my teacher said that paranormal investigating isn't a job. And so, yeah.
So I went on Twitter. Because she came home and she was very discouraged because it was, that's a silly idea. You know, why would you think that? And she felt very, very downhearted about it. So I got up and fired up Twitter and just like did a call out to people and was like, my daughter just come home and she's been told this, what do you think? And the amount of support that people had coming through, And it's sort of, when you think of paranormal investigation, you think, oh, going out into a dark building, but it's not, it's so much more than that, because like what you've got,
Yeah.
we also work for a magazine, don't we, called High Strange, where Aubrey does some writing for that, and I do some writing.
The next Katrina
She,
Wiley.
she's got her, she has, so we have a junior paranormal kids section, and Aubrey's got an Ask Aubrey section.
Yes.
Where people emailing questions.
So
and Ask Aubrey.
where people ask me questions and I do answer. In like one point we did one where how does a K2 work, or what's your most favourite kit, and one point we did tea leaves on one.
Oh yeah, we've just done
we've just done tea leaves on one.
Teddy bear's going again.
Oh, teddy bear's going there.
Oh.
It's arm.
It's just off to the left of us, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, just over there.
Teddy bear's going off.
It's one,
And
isn't
nobody
it? The
near.
lights are in different arms and feet.
Yes,
of it.
that's where it's touched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was its arm.
Yeah.
So it's an armless one.
It's waving hello then.
Yes.
Hello.
So yeah, that was a good question, that one. Now we've got to ask you yourselves as well. Have you found that your teddy bear's going off again? Have you found that you sometimes you hit brick walls because it's children?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain a little bit about that, or?
So there are some venues that we know would be really, really good from a historical perspective. And we're not going to, name and shame people, because that's not what we do. But we know they would be really good in terms of the rich history connected to them. But the second that we email and they see the word junior and it's for children, it's a no.
Right.
No.
We've had one venue where we have been and done a junior event there, and the person who we met was really accommodating. We went in, we did the event, and we were like, oh, why not? We'll try going back. And the person changed, and they said, the next person who came on, no, we don't believe in under 18s doing events like that here. So they put a complete stop on it. And we do get that, but because we get so much support from our others, to a point of view where the amazing things that we've had that's come out of it, it doesn't balance it out. It outweighs it significantly. So we don't feel. I don't feel disheartened anymore.
No, I
just feel like,
now.
Okay, that's your belief.
Your
I respect that.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next.
We do get a few trolls that pop up on social media, as you can imagine, where it's
everybody does.
You're irresponsible. At one point, we were called bad parents. You're putting children in danger. You're practicing black magic. There was a place in Rochdale that we had, which we spoke to you about before, in terms of the tunnels and things. We had that booked. And the volunteers and the trust were absolutely 100% for it because of the history associated with the church. So we advertised the event, we'd got people booking on it, and then somebody higher up got wind of it and said that we had to shut down, otherwise they were going to take legal action against us. And if we didn't remove the event and stop advertising it, they were going to take us to court, because we were quite clearly going there with the intent of practicing the dark arts with children.
So with you being a first group doing this, or the first group you've ever heard of, you're going to get hit with everything.
We have.
You know what I mean? So it will, because there's people out there that do need education training on what's happening, because like you said
we were educated.
And
because we were the same. Well, parents do that for the kids, because we would never. I mean, you've got a little Marla who wants to come with us, and we were going.
Well, I've got Layla,
Marla, and we were going. You can't throw any kids in that. But we've spoken to you, and this is what the people higher up need to do: is they need to listen to you and understand you, like we've done it.
Understand the structure.
We've held our hands up, and we admitted we were like, what kind of parents? You're a teacher, and you listen. But once we've spoken to you. And it's a great lesson to learn to any paranormal group, any company. If you want them in, listen to them first. We've done it. We made the mistake. That's why they're sitting here now, because I think they should have the right to say what they want to say.
You don't go till late at night. You don't do the 2 o'clock in the morning stuff like adults. Finish 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And that's around about time.
And then you go to the pub.
No, we don't go pub. No, we don't go to pub.
No.
So,
Listen to what no.
No,
It's
no.
a joke.
Or
It's
is
a
it?
joke, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
no,
hitting
it
your
isn't.
drink behind you.
Thanks. I'll
But
take
yeah, no,
on the way
it's,
home.
It
Yeah.
has been a learning curve for us
Yeah.
as to what to expect
Yeah.
from people, and it is hard to
Yeah.
sometimes get through. And but you say we do take the fact of, I think we've had, I think was it Salisbury Hall was the first one we ever got in touch with,
Yeah.
and they came back within a week of us actually emailing. This is before we actually got a name. And
We didn't have a name or
started.
anything at
We
that
didn't have a
point.
name or anything. And when they came back to us, even though we weren't getting many people, but getting somewhere like their back
yeah.
was like really validate. And then from there it's taken off, and we've had it's Harriet up at Eden Camp who has been really super positive
she's amazing.
towards us. Where
Hats off to them, Eden Camp.
we've
then,
been
yeah.
and done a podcast for them, haven't we? Where we
Oh, well,
we,
yeah.
we,
Yeah,
podcast and stuff. And it's just like then it's not bits of validation, it's a big chunks of validation that we're getting. But the more people we can educate, that
Yeah.
we're
The
not
better,
out there.
You've educated us.
Yeah. We're not
Yeah,
out there
thank
putting
you.
like seances on and kids with Ouija,
Yeah.
but anything, nothing like that. We just
Yeah.
solely educate that it's all
sensory.
cause and effect.
It
It's
is sensory.
Isn't it?
But-
And we make it fun.
Yeah.
We find that
We
And
said
positive,
Yeah.
as you were telling me before, there's nothing negative
No.
you see. You see the positive side of
Yeah.
it.
we said if we'll see how we do after the first year, because we
Yeah.
were like that first year of doing anything's always really crucial.
Yeah.
And we came through, and at Christmas we sort of sat there for a minute, and we were like, oh my God, we actually did it. We actually did a full year, and it's not just that our followers are slowly increasing, and we're building this really lovely community of people who, like yourselves, are part of now with us, who understand us and who want to support us. And the young people that we work with on these events completely outweigh any barrier that we face. They're just amazing.
Well, I think personally, sorry Jamie, with you being the first doing this, showing people out there, and I bet there's loads of people out there that want to do the same. So I'm thinking now there'll be people across the UK and people from other areas, America, whatever, getting in touch with you and asking,
I
how
think
do
it's
you
brilliant.
start
Yeah.
this?
Well, that's what we would
Yeah.
like. We would
Yeah.
like people to come to us, and we can help them set up their own, so that we know people are doing it the right way, if
Yes.
that makes sense. Because the
Yeah.
last thing we
Yeah.
want is somebody running out there and undoing all the hard work that we're
But
trying to do and
Yeah.
championing
don't
it.
want
You know?
people going in with all the bad, putting a bad name to it basically.
No.
Yeah,
And doing the wrong things, what you don't do, because that will come back on you then saying,
absolutely.
this is what you're doing, witchcraft, you're doing this, you're doing that, and that's absolutely not anything like it at all.
Yeah, because that's an example of that is the fact that we are not able to advertise our
Yeah, we're
stuff on
banned.
certain paranormal groups on Facebook. So
Well,
then
that's their loss.
it
Yeah.
is their loss,
Yeah.
but I do believe that they stop it because of what other people have tried to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And some people have tried to do it quite
Badly.
wrong, badly.
Yes.
They've, as you say, oh, we've got an adult event on, we can bring the kids with them.
Mm.
Yeah, it doesn't
We
really
don't-
work.
That's-
We avoid doing, well, we do try, well, we don't do adult events because that's not us.
No.
We don't want to get into that side of it.
Yeah.
We've done bits where we've helped out at Champness Hall where they do have people there who are
Yeah.
into the paranormal, and we've assisted them with putting on a charity event for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, us personally for adults, I don't think I'd want to
Yeah.
deal with adults on an adult event.
Children are easier.
But, yeah. So
I don't know.
Or is it easy?
Oh, look at that.
Or is it easy?
So I was on about to you earlier about my niece, Layla, and when my sister came to me and said, Layla's well into this and she watches you and she listens to your podcast and everything, and I thought, oh heck, I don't want her going down the wrong way with this, because they're doing it watching what they on
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah.
Even though it's my niece's daughter, so I still call her my niece. I don't want to go down the wrong path and it's going into anything negative or anything. So first thing I did, as soon as I found out, I went and bought her a necklace, a protection necklace, a torch, protection, first thing you need. Little cards of what to do and things like that, protection cards for prayers that she can say beforehand and help her. Because I don't know how she'll be in school with her friends, because the friends talk about it, and I would like her to be an example to her friends, to say, no, we do it this way. You know, I've seen the group, I'm doing this, because I've got to bring her along, as I mentioned. Because I'd like them to be educated in the right way and not a negative way. Because I do remember at school, when I was at school, I think it's a car going.
I actually thought it was footsteps.
I thought it was footsteps. Yeah.
So when I was at school, in the senior school, and there was a Ouija board session going on in the library that we got brought and told, and all the books did come off the shelves, and it was a very bad experience. And when I went down to the foyer, I noticed it was one of the girls out of my year. I only knew of her, sort of thing, you know, because you don't get to know everybody in the seniors in your year. And she was still in a trance sort of thing. They had to call her parents in. So that Ouija board, you've got to know what you're doing, and please, no children.
No.
Don't go into it.
And if children,
it is really, you know, there is a lot there, and you don't want to go into that.
No, absolutely not.
And it is good that, I mean, you the like of yourselves. I mean, Layla, you mentioned to her, didn't you, about the Junior Paranormal? And so you might probably get Layla to contact them.
Yeah. So, well, we'll be doing it through myself to help her, because I wouldn't like her to go down the wrong track.
No.
And bring up, because she does watch what we do, and you know, we don't do the swearing part of it and things like that.
Yeah, no, we don't swear.
So, you know, we're not.
You don't need to swear on the paranormal.
Try not to.
No.
I think that's a
If
funny
somebody
thing.
gets frightened, then it's a say one, you know, obviously.
Things
it
do
happens.
slip out occasionally.
Yeah.
But with understanding there's so much stuff out there that is quite. We always say to anybody that says to us, "Oh, do you not feel like you're going down a route with your kids?" It's like, but there's so much other stuff that is far worse.
Yes.
Just teaching them how kids are inquisitive.
Think about it this way, Michael. There is Scooby-Doo. That's the paranormal. I know it sounds a bit silly, but Scooby-Doo, it's ghost hunting haunted houses, isn't it?
Ghostbusters.
And it's a cartoon for children. Ghostbusters, So it is out there for children.
It's already out there, and it's bringing their attention to it from a young age.
What you're doing is educating them.
Yeah.
You know, you're not throwing them in at the deep end. I think it's phenomenal, and I'm just glad that I listened to you. And
thank you.
It you know, because I was like, that shouldn't be allowed. And no, it was, and it was what you said, didn't you? Hold on, we don't know nothing about them, and I'm going, yeah, but they've got kids going on it, and I admit that, but I've been educated, and it's the best thing that's happened.
See, I can relate to that side of it, because if you think about it, well, I've been on adult events, and to be honest, you go on them events, they're not for children
not like kids
anyway
anymore.
whatsoever.
No.
So it was only through the kids asking, and then Gemma's teaching background that really made us drive the fact that we can teach them. And that's the key behind this. Our whole thing is the teaching and education, because it's not just about getting, as you say, a flashlight and a few bits of kit, going into a building or whatever, and it's about teaching them how to do it in a safe manner. And if we can create that group and that positive environment, and they can feel confident together doing it, and we know that they're not going off on their own doing it. Just feel that's...
And we do have to give a special shout out to Jade, who's our volunteer. She's amazing.
Jade.
And then we also have to give a special mention to our brand new Junior Paranormal Ambassadors, who you guys are
List them all, list them all.
So we obviously have Aubrey and Finlay, who are also the co-founders of JPE, but joining them as Junior Ambassadors, we have Harrison. Hi. Alfie.
Hey, Harrison.
Hi.
Come on.
Kate and Olivia. Hi.
Hey.
So you guys will get to
Yeah.
meet them when you come to
Yeah.
Chandler's
I'm looking
Hall.
forward to meeting them
They're
all.
absolutely
You've seen
amazing.
them on Facebook
Yeah.
already.
They're
And if they're all
amazing.
like this little one here,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna have.
It's
You've
gonna
got
be a really
fantastic
good night.
team.
It's gonna be good.
Because I
Yeah.
honestly believe, and we've had, you've heard the Katrina Wardman one. I think Katrina, if you're watching this,
Yeah.
keep an eye out.
Yeah, Katrina, if you want to give us a little hi, shout out, feel free. Special message for our juniors of encouragement, that'd be awesome. But you've got to try, haven't you?
Of course you have, yeah. And you never know.
You never
So
know.
Katrina, if you are listening, and I know you are because you're a big fan of me, and Jonathan and Marie, give them a shout. Yeah. But, I mean, you've been going a year,
Yeah,
and in that year you've been to some fantastic places, haven't you?
absolutely.
And I'm going to go back to you because you're too quiet. Didn't know whether you were asleep or not. Is it,
I was
is it past,
I
past the bedtime?
I just like to do the staring, just to listen.
Bye, Aubrey.
What time is it? Is it morning?
Is it after 9 o'clock? What's it like for you? You know you've been to all these paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is, we were talking about it before we came on here, aren't we, is we're going to get you and your little ones to do an investigation, and I want you to record it, whether it's on your phone or record it, a mini investigation, and send it to us, and we'll put it on the show, even if it's half an hour. Do a mini investigation with the team, send it to us, and we'll put it on the radio show, because then it might open people's minds about it more.
Absolutely, that would be fantastic.
You know, and then it'll show people how, because I mean, we can talk about it, but we put paranormal investigations on the radio. So if we open one out for you,
That'd
you
be
send us a
amazing.
paranormal investigation of you doing it. Not telling anybody off if the belly rumbles though. Send it to us, and we'll do a half an hour of an investigation. If it gets better and it's a really good one, you can do the hour, and we'll put it on for the hour.
But if you do it here, I'll be coming with you anyhow, with Layla, and I'll take the
Oh, that'd be
Do
amazing.
you want to do it in February?
Yeah,
test pan with us. So if
yeah.
you want to do that,
And we'll even record it as a podcast, and we'll put it up on there, and then
yeah.
that way, where we've been educated, maybe that's the
We
way
can
to do it.
educate
We can
others.
educate
Wonderful.
others,
Yeah.
and we'll do that.
We can put it out to children or
Yeah.
to the parents.
Mm.
That'd be
children.
wonderful.
That will be, that actual show will be for kids.
Go for it,
That'd be
Michael.
wonderful.
So that exact thing, actually, what you're after, was it really culminated our year at Bakewell, and I think it was you who was upstairs there, and wasn't the 3 kids
Oh, I nearly
in
cried.
one of it? They were in a
It was
small
so
room in like the
beautiful.
doll's room. You're probably
Yeah,
there.
so it ended up, so there was 3, there was Aubrey and then 2 other guests, and they did not met each, 2 other junior guests did not met each other before at all. And we'd split up into small groups at Bakewell House, and I was upstairs with my group, and myself and the other parents ended up standing outside of the room, slightly back, and the 3 girls were in there on their own,
Wow.
leading the investigation. They had equipment going off, they were being so respectful, and I was like, I'm not crying, I'm not crying.
It's
So I took a picture of it, and I was just like, this right here is
It
why
was
we
about
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic that it was
And-
our last event, and
Of the
it
year.
culminated our whole year.
And
Yeah.
that
come to
picture
that
sums it
one
all up.
picture that's summed it
Fantastic.
all up.
And the other thing is as well, it's making friends.
Oh,
making
yeah.
That's
friends.
it, the whole socialise and this
Yeah.
And it's really good for them to work together and make sure they're all trusting each other and they're all ready to do it, and it's just building up their confidence, because with COVID and stuff that it's weakened their confidence, but this is building it up, and it's teaching them history about the place, and it's letting them know that you're not always alone. Like, you've always got somebody
I think
by
that's a really
side.
Perfect.
point, because sometimes if you're into the paranormal, people think you're a bit
Oh,
strange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know?
my friends
I'm
do.
saying nothing, and I'm
No.
saying nothing. I know who you support, and I'm not going to mention it because we don't want to be banned.
So being a child and a young person can sometimes be hard enough.
Yeah.
And then you add to that that's such body, and they believe in
It's
ghosts,
even-
ooh, and it
even
can make
worse
you
for
stand
them.
out even more. So
Yeah.
having the opportunity to come together and form a like-minded community where it's a
definitely.
safe environment and you can just be yourself and you make these special connections, because as adults we know when you go into a dark room and you form connections with people, don't you? You learn to trust each other.
Yeah.
And so that picture was everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And that's a unique picture, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, Marie, you were going to say.
Sorry. I was talking to Michael before and we was on about not every place is haunted.
No.
So, you know, you come on these investigations and, you know, to be true to yourself, that not every place, but the history and everybody gathering together, because we love that, don't we? When we're not getting something in a place, and we've done that in quite a few places and nothing's happened, but when you're going round and you're looking, oh, this used to be a wall, this used to be that, and we used to, any ruins or anything, you can place what was there and what was going on, and it's that, and it's the interaction with each other and the banter and everything that goes on.
Definitely.
And that is a lovely big part of it as well, isn't it? Because there's not spirits and ghosts in every place, you know, and you've got to accept that some nights there'll be nothing there, but the fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the joining together of so many people and, you know, and getting that confidence, as you were saying, and building, because COVID's knocked a lot out.
Yeah.
It has.
And with like spirits and ghosts, like sometimes they don't know who you are if you're on your first investigation, but during the night when we was paranormal investigating, what happened with some children is at the very start they weren't okay about this, but as they got into the middle of the night, they got really excited and they was always like, I'm going to want this kit, I'm ready for it. And then
not in the middle of the night, it's 9 o'clock finish.
I know.
Middle of the investigation.
Middle of the investigation. And then
your night.
yeah, that's what I mean. And then
7 p.m.
It is the middle of our
and then when they get used to it, they start getting into it, because at the start, when we do a tiny bit of a call out, and then we go to another part of the building. But what happens with some of them are just a little bit quiet with it. Like when they hear like whistling for the first time, they don't feel okay. But during the night at the very end, they're all like, "Can you do this? Can you do this?" And
they get more confident.
When they hear like a bang, they're like, where was that? And they go out of their seat and they go running
towards it.
Yeah.
Adults do the same, you know, when we bring people...
You know, Jamie does the same, but he runs away from
runs
it.
go run away from it.
Don't you start on me.
But it's good, because I remember what I was talking to you, Aubrey, before, and you were saying, you're debunking it, you go and say, was that anybody? Was that somebody's watching? Was that somebody's this? Who's got the phone on? Did somebody not put it on flight mode? And that's good, and that's a good thing to have, you know, to debunk, and that's what we like doing, is debunking the situation, and not just say, oh, that was the paranormal.
We're
always think the logic
we're very
first.
much the last thing that you get to is that you feel it was paranormal, and by paranormal, as we say, it's unexplainable.
It's out of the norm.
It's out of the norm.
Just
so always go to that line, that chain first of what it could be.
Yeah.
And we've always been very much like that with them, because we don't want everybody to jump straight to the
Oh, that was paranormal.
It's paranormal, but it could have been this. That's
going off that. Well, it's not. It's the same subject. My granddaughter Mila, she was in her bedroom, and I stayed up with them. I was minding them overnight, babysit the teddy's going off.
It's a different
side. So I was sleeping, we ended up sleeping in the mum and dad's king-size bed, Mila, Harper and myself, and they were in the bed, and Mila's going, Nana, can you wear that? And I said, yeah. And she said, but is that somebody coming up the stairs? And I said, no, because we've just come up the stairs, and wood bends as you're coming up, and because it's getting colder or warmer, the house,
contracts.
It can, and it makes that noise. And she said, will it do it all the time? I said, yeah, until it's settled. It's like double glazed windows. Once the sun hits it, you start hearing it cracking and making noise of it expanding. And then sometimes you can't shut your door sometimes. I said, so there's always an explanation like that to it. And she said, so let's turn our light off now and let me show you something. So we're all tucked in. I said, so we're all safe here. I said, watch this when we turn our light off. How will you feel? She said, I'll be scared. But I said, just wait 10 seconds and see what happens to your eyes and see what we can see. So we turned it off and doing it. So I said, we're all holding hands. What can we see? And she said, nothing. I said, right, have another look now. We'll count to 10 and we'll look. And she'd, oh yeah, I can see Mum's picture. Oh yeah, I can see that. Because it frightens them in the dark and they don't realise once their eyes get used to it of things that can come in. And it's debunking, and it stopped my granddaughter from being frightened in the dark by sitting there spending that time and educating her on that time that the creak on the stairs was because of this, that was because of the windows, or that was because your eyes have just got into a place. And it's good, and I think with having your group, you're educating them all, and they're making their own assumptions of saying, well, this what it could have been, this, and debunking their own ways. So, I mean, you came up with a lot of the debunking, because you don't like table tipping people, do you? You tell us about that. Why do you think people table tipping? What do you think about it?
Well, what I think about it is, with my way of it, sometimes when I see stuff on TV, I see where if they do table tipping, where the hands have got like gripping on, and I'm saying to my head, well, you could easily just wobble the table. Like if it's like a really light table that you could easily just pick up, like with this table it's real heavy, it could easily just wiggle. And I was showing it down where a place in part of the building, I was showing that you could easily just wiggle it, and you can easily, like, you could do this and you could literally lift up your thumb with it and go, that's not me.
Yeah.
So we don't do table tipping on our events.
Yeah, we never do.
At all. No.
But that's a good thing. What I was trying to get at was the debunking it, the putting the mind to it, and the thinking of these things. But like you said, Gemma, you don't do table tipping.
No.
You don't do Ouija boards.
No seances.
What else was you saying?
We don't use the ghost boxes.
Yes.
Just because we can't be sure of the words that are going to come through. And we don't want overly negative words. You know, sometimes you can have swear words coming through, and because you have no control, we don't like using that.
One other thing that we do is we do vet places to decide whether or not it will be suitable or not. We did have somebody approached us about a place in Hyde, which was notorious with a certain person, certain people, and we said straight away, we were like, no, that's not somewhere. We don't want to take children to a place that, yes, you, depending on how you feel about the parrot, but we want to take it somewhere where a place that's been loved by people.
Yes.
And not all paranormal people would have been happy in different places. That was me. Sorry with my foot.
He likes me.
The door was sounded.
So yeah, we do make sure that is one of the things that we do is we do vet places to make sure that it is a suitable place to go for, and if we feel uncomfortable with it, we
don't go there. And we always ask the children as well, what do you think about this place? And if they say no, then we don't go any further.
And sometimes we always have like a base room on our investigations, and it's for any people who don't feel comfortable or anything, because sometimes when you get drawn into the night and some people aren't happy with that place, you can always let them free just to go and have a minute moment, just to calm themselves
but it's
down.
Mainly the grown-up.
Because on our events we literally go, if you get scared, grown up,
we do.
Go and stay here for a few minutes.
So they'll most probably say, I'm taking my daughter or my son out.
It's not. It's the grown-up.
I bet they're like this, I don't want to go. Can we stay here with them? But no, you've got them all parent and a child, haven't you? That's how you have it.
I would have to say though, we've only 1 or 2 across the whole year.
Teddy's going off again on its leg this time.
And I'll just stop you, Michael. What amazes me is though, you're just sitting there going, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I go like this and I go, yeah, okay.
Thanks for that, Spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit
You've not
of
said
Teddy.
thank you. That's-
I know, I've not said
yeah,
thank you.
we've found that there's so much resolve with the children, or with the young adults, as we call them, who come on our events, that we've actually only had like 1 or 2 that have felt uncomfortable to that point.
Yeah.
And most of them we haven't had to use.
And we did about 16 events
16
last
events.
year.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we did. It wasn't like the one event and there was like one.
Yeah,
It's like we did, and there was there's a,
16.
and that one who did actually wants to come back on another one because they kind of realised that they shouldn't have left.
Yes.
And it's just that is fascinating for me that we haven't. I was expecting each event we would have a kid wanting to come back, but no, they're the ones front and
And
centre.
surprisingly,
Seems to the kids you are going.
You will go.
How open-minded they are, because like you say, it starts from the cartoons, like you was it you, Jonathan, mentioning from Scooby-Doo things, and then Ghostbusters,
yeah.
and it's already there implanted in the little ghost.
But then,
That's not my
We watched
6-year-old
Casper,
Casper. Yeah.
we watched Ghostbusters, like the
very old one, the
old
first
version,
one.
the first
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
We watched that over
It's
Christmas
so
with our
hilarious.
children, and they were both going, "That's not how you do it. You're
Yeah.
doing that
Oh, you got to
wrong."
that point. Yeah. So I've got to ask Aubrey, how did you approach your mum and dad to go on a ghost hunt?
I would have to say,
nagging.
nagging. I would nag for them
Yeah.
to do it. I would go, come on, please do it, like that all around
But
the
you
house.
kind of know, because we work in Champness Hall and the building itself is nearly 100 years old, and we do have loads of activity in our office and in the building, which you guys are hopefully going to experience. It's got to the point now where our children will go, "I've got nothing on tonight, can we just go to Champness Hall?"
Yeah, like one night, Mum said, "What do you want to do tonight?" And I came running into the kitchen going, "Ghost hunting at Champness Hall." Now, I declare it.
What did you get for Christmas?
I-
Curiosity now, because
You didn't get any paranormal kit for Christmas, you did
But-
for your birthday though.
Yeah,
did you?
because it was in November.
So what did you get?
Right,
I
okay.
got a pair of dowsing rods.
Oh, right, yeah.
I got a laser grid pen, which hopefully can be charged.
It has, it's working now.
Good.
What do you mean you hope you can be charged?
No, the
it-
battery.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought you were telling your mum and
And-
dad off then.
And I got a mag light, which we've been using, which is out there
That was
tonight.
brilliant.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I've been holding
To
it.
be honest with you, you've taught us, and we've been doing paranormal investigation for 15, 16 years, and you've taught us about new items, what we can use.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yourself,
yeah, you've started us.
especially the torch. So
Yeah.
even though we've been going for that long, we're still learning. We've been
Yeah.
educated by you on items that we
Yeah.
can use, that we're able to use.
And it doesn't matter how old or young you are, you'll still always learn
Yes,
something
Jonathan.
like yeah. Today I told you about how a K2 properly works, and we told you about watches and stuff, and you was first full of
Would we call
shock.
this?
And yeah.
You are. See, we learn from you as well.
Yeah.
Don't say I taught.
I think that should be the nature of the paranormal community though.
Yeah.
I think we all should be learning and supporting
Working together.
Definitely.
from each other, and I think there just needs to be
100%.
more collaboration and,
Yeah.
and more
Yeah.
support, and perhaps a little bit less judgment, especially
Yeah.
for us.
Well, like I said earlier, we've learned from that, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping a lot of paranormal
Look
investigations.
into it.
Yeah.
Paranormal people look into it. Wish we had of.
You say we're,
Well, you did.
Sorry?
we're all after the exact same thing at the
That's
end
it,
of the
isn't
day.
Yeah.
We want
And that's
the
the
same
thing,
outcome.
everybody wants the same outcome,
Yeah.
is to have that experience,
Yes.
or if you really want something to happen, to have that figure manifest in front of
Yeah.
you all.
That's
You're
it.
all after that same goal.
Yeah.
The funny thing is when we do investigations, and you say, there's child spirits here, who more better to be there than us to communicate with the child spirit?
Children?
Is a child.
Well, we found that.
Yeah.
We found that.
And there's one
really-
on the phone for you now.
we found that really early on, that sometimes when we spoke as adults, there were nothing. And then the kids would speak and there'd be a reaction to our equipment that we had out. And
Yeah.
Because it's trust again.
yeah,
Yeah.
as I say, I'm a 6-foot person standing over that could be
Exactly.
a
yeah.
young child. It's
Mhm.
bound to be intimidating.
And if you think of a child spirit, the child spirit's going to see the light of Aubrey and say, well, they can't be that frightening because they've got a little boy or a little girl with them. So it's working both ways. So it's not just educating you, it's educating those who you can't see as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And and the only thing is it doesn't matter who you are or what you're interested in. It doesn't matter if you are interested in the paranormal or you aren't. It matters just to show who you are and what you like to do. Like, we're showing us as we love to paranormal investigate, and we love to show who we are and what we're doing in this community.
And be true to yourself.
Yeah.
That's what we always
Being
say,
true to
isn't
yourself.
it?
Yeah.
We're getting very
Yeah.
philosophical, aren't we?
So,
Yeah.
How will anyone get in touch with you? Where can they get in touch to go on one of your investigations?
Thank you. So we've got a Facebook page. You can Facebook page, which is Junior Paranormal Events.
Yeah.
We've got which we need to update our website. I noticed that today.
That's
All
telling
our
you.
he's the website guy. All our events can be booked through our website, which is juniorparanormalevents.co.uk.
Yeah.
That's right, isn't
Yeah.
it? We are here at Mill Street Barracks on Saturday the 18th of February.
My birthday.
Oh,
Oh,
when we
birthday.
do, that's another thing to mention. When we have junior paranormal investigators on our events who have a birthday, we always bring cake for them. So we will make
Nice
sure that we will bring you some
one.
cake. There you go.
Write it
Have you got enough
down.
candles?
Yeah, we do have candles. Yeah, just put one. You're turning one. Here you go.
Another birthday, yeah. We need 2 cakes that night.
Oh, is that somebody else?
No, somebody else who's on it.
wow.
I'd say get one for Jamie as well, forthcoming, but you'd need a wheelbarrow for the
Okay.
From the 1800s.
Yeah.
It's all right, so I'll borrow his candles. Yeah.
So, is that a Facebook page?
Facebook page. We're
Facebook
also
and
on
the website.
Twitter as
Yeah.
well. So Junior Paranormal Events are on Twitter as well.
Twitter, yeah.
That's for if paranormal groups want to connect with us as well. That's
Yeah,
mainly
we
like
do have a bit of a we do have a YouTube.
we do have a developing YouTube
YouTube.
channel.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, we'll
Junior
subscribe.
Paranormal
Yeah,
Events.
which
So at
generally
least you know you've got 2, 3,
Thank you.
4. Yeah.
Built-in.
5.
That's where it
Some.
starts.
we do
Absolutely.
generally put
Yeah.
our live streams on there. We try and stream live
right.
for,
Oh,
and just do a
brilliant.
24 where we leave it
Could
in
be
the
on
empty
there.
building just to have.
Yeah.
And we have had
Fabulous.
fabulous
So-
stuff on there as well.
We've got to stop now
Yeah.
because it's come to that time of the night.
That went
But
really
I'm not going to
fast.
say. I'm going to say thank you to Michael. I'm going to say thank you to Gemma, and to Marie, and to Jonathan. But I'm going to leave the last word to you to say good night from Access Paranormal.
Good night
From Access Paranormal.
from Access Paranormal
And
Your group.
and Junior Paranormal Events.
Yay!
Yay. Well
Oh.
done.
Now
good
you're
night.
a superstar. Good night.
Good night.